Hi friends, this is Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate each and every one of you and the views and the thumbs up, and I love it when you comment. So thank you so much. Today I am going to show you something that's so easy, was not my idea. One of my subscribers told me about this because I mentioned that I had so many buttons like this that had the backs on them. And I do some fabric things, but for the most part, I'm a paper crafter, and I just wasn't sure how I was going to use these. And she said there's some sort of tool where you cut the backs off. So she just said, cut the backs off. And I apologize that I can't remember who it was. But I did that in a different video, and I was talking about how I'd taken the backs off my brads. And one of my subscribers, either Tasha or Tanya, I think, said, show me how. And I'm going to show you, and it's so easy. And there's probably safer, better ways to do it. I'm not going to lie to you. So I have two basic things. I just went out in the garage. If you have like fancy beading tools, I don't know that I would use those. Okay, these are, needle nose pliers, super basic. And another, I don't know the technical term for these cutter pliers, that I like these for dies. And what else do I keep them in my craft room for? I don't know, but there's something that when I put these in the garage, I just gave up and I just keep these in my craft room now. So for buttons, I go like this. I take this thing, I put it right here. The smart way to do this is to hold your hand over it like this, or I would do it in a box, because did you see how it flew? And then the back is off, so you could use a glue dot or glue to put it on. And what I found was I had the same brads for years, but when I cut the backs off and mix them in with my sequins and bling, I actually use them. So it's super easy. You could sit around and do it. I did a bunch of them in the shop one day. The pieces were flying everywhere. You can do it while you watch TV. It'll probably annoy your family. I mean, you can tell from the video, right? It's making annoying sounds and bits are flying. You should probably wear eye protection and that sort of thing. But look how beautiful these are, and now I can use them on my cards. Won't these be gorgeous on winter cards? Look at these. Look at that one. That is gorgeous. I have this whole bag of buttons like this that I wasn't sure what I was going to do with, and I can just go through and cut off the backs. So there's one. I had some gold roses, same idea. These are a little softer. I've already cut one. So it doesn't fly quite as hard. It just kind of squishes, see that? And you take it right off. So it doesn't make it super smooth. I'm not going to file it. I'm not concerned with it. If you were, you could take a nail file or an actual shop file and file it down, but I don't know why you would. We have glue dots. Same idea. This is just another type of button. They're all going to react a little bit different depending on how hard they are. Listen. And exactly what they're made out of. This one's white on the inside. So you get the idea. Brads vary more than buttons. Buttons, you just take this thing, you chomp it off. Brads, I noticed a couple different things. On a big brad like this, I just grabbed these. I didn't even actually use the needle nose pliers because I could get my hands on them. I think Andrea and I were talking and I just grabbed them. If you have nice nails and a manicure, you're going to want to take this and use the needle nose pliers, and all you want to do is bend it back and forth a couple times. These are very inexpensive brads, and there's a lot of room to work with, and see, it comes right off. If you pull on it too hard, see, you can't tell, it looks good. If you pull on it too hard, I have one down here, right here. I got a little notch on the side. See that? That tiny little, I mean, it's not going to stop me from putting it on the front of a card. You can't really see it. But that's why I decided to just push that one in. And I experimented with pushing them in, but I just didn't love it. I don't think it's going to lay as nice. So on this one, I would just grab it with the soft parts of my fingers and see it fell right off. Let's do another one while I'm talking. This one's an adorable bee. These are big and roomy and easy to work with. And I just use my fingers. It doesn't poke me. It doesn't hurt me. Nothing. And then it just falls off. So a bit tedious, right? But if you're not going to use your brads, there. Like, it's just a million times better. I will use it. I probably won't use a brad snowflake, especially with prongs this long. And that's the thing. The ones with the really long prongs, they're easy to take apart because they're easy to grab. But be careful, because if you really like the brad and it's cheap, like this snowflake is super flimsy, so you have to be more careful with it. So you just, there you go. And then they're off. This one, I got a little rowdy. It was one of my first ones, and I bent up the side a little. So if it's a super cute one, you just want to be careful. Okay, now smaller ones are trickier. These, again, I don't take good care of my nails. I should, huh? But I can just grab them, tweak them back and forth. It's probably like 4 times. Let's see, 3, 4, no, I think it was 5. Okay, and then it's off. And then I can glue that on with, I have been gluing some of these on with art glitter glue. I glued some of these with art glitter glue, and I used glue dots on some. This one I would use art glitter glue because it's so small. This one I could go either way. If I send you a card and the embellishments fall off, oh my gosh, be sure and tell me, because I'm experimenting and I would be mortified. I would want to know. If you don't tell me, it'll keep happening. But I used art glitter glue on one of, I think it was one of these, and I went back and touched it, and it was sturdy. I think the trick is to just get a lot under there, especially on this one. I'd probably use small glue dots just because this one's so big. Then these tiny, tiny ones, this one, same idea. But on this one, what I'd probably do, just because it's going to be so hard on the fingernails and the skin just to get in between them, is I would grab the prongs. And on this one, I experimented because your pliers have a cutter section. The smaller ones, honestly, I don't know if they're worth it. But you can just cut it. It's going to be super hard for you to see. Let me reposition it. So I've aligned it down there in that hole, and then I'm going to squeeze it and cut it off. The problem with this is they're so flimsy that to pull it off, it's just squishy. Like, this brad's going to be destroyed probably. I'll show you. So yeah, it's not cutting, it's just kind of smushing, probably because my tools are from like 3rd generation, my family or something. So then I ended up with like a pokey thing. So maybe if you have strong hands or that kind of thing, that's why I just started weakening them. If it's a sturdy brad and you can't get the thing to fall off, then use your little prongs. This would be like, I don't know, this isn't an on-the-go kind of project because you don't want this stuff all over and you'll lose them. On some of the sturdy buttons, if you don't put your hand over it, when you chomp the pliers down, the button flies away. Let me show you another one. Here's an example. This one had a back on it and I cut it off. Now look at that and think about what you would pay for that for an embellishment, like in the Tim Holtz or those other brands that I can't think of. It's sturdy, and it was like in a garage sale or thrift store pile. So it really, really is a way to make your supplies go further and use them. Because quite frankly, I don't like brads. I mean, that's not true. I like brads, but I just don't use them. I like these that look like brads and come as stickers, but those aren't as common. So all of these, I'm probably going to go through, especially ones with really, really long prongs. I don't like those because they leave a lump. And if I get it off, I'm much more likely to use it. So let me know if that inspires you to use your buttons or brads. And I'll probably do a few more and then put these away. Oh, here's a great one. It says star and goals and champion. Yeah, but I'm not going to use that, right? And some of these are really, really old. They've been in here for years and years. And this way, I would actually use them. See, and it came right off and you can't even tell. So I think the best way is to jiggle it. You can see if you find better tools. If you have fancy bead tools, maybe you have a really nice tool to just cut this thing off. But I don't know. And then you have to ask yourself, like, is $2 worth of beads or brads worth it? I don't know. I think if it's a big blue star brad, it's totally worth the time. I think. Okay, Thanks for watching. I hope everybody's having a fabulous week, and let me know if you use this idea. Bye-bye.